Good afternoon, everyone. We're in the kitchen again, and today we are going to make grilled cheese sandwiches. I know it sounds like nothing, but it's surprising the number of people who ask how to make a grilled cheese sandwich. So, I made my own bread. You don't have to, but I did. So, I am going to take 2, 4, 6 slices because I am going to make 3 grilled cheese sandwiches. So the first thing you need is you do need a spread on the outside, because if you just throw this on your grill, or I'm going to use my pizza cooker, you'll see how that works in a minute, but if you just throw it dry on there, you end up with just toasted bread. So you do need some kind of spread. I'm using butter. It's about a 1/4 cup of butter. You don't need to use butter. You can use margarine instead. Butter will taste better, but butter also burns faster. So either butter or margarine, whichever you like. Now, you don't just want butter. You want some flavor to your butter. So I add a couple of shakes of black pepper. Ends up being about 1/8 of a teaspoon, maybe a little less. You don't want it hot. We're going to add some garlic. End up with, 1/4 teaspoon. You don't want a ton of any one spice here because this is getting spread. So then we want a little bit of paprika. Here you're going to want about 1/8 of a teaspoon, not a ton. Otherwise it'll make it uncomfortable when you eat it if you don't love spice. Paprika's not super hot, but it can be if you put too much. So then we're going to just a dash of cumin. Literally just a dash. You don't need much cumin at all. And you want to put about 1/2 teaspoon of parsley, dried parsley. Mix that all together. So you're basically making an herbed butter. And it is much, much easier to make your sandwiches. If you take your bread, line it up, you're going to spread the butter on these first. Okay? So we've mixed our butter. Now we take our knife. I like to use a fairly small knife. You don't need a ton. You just need enough. And this will just give you a nice coating. So you see, on each piece of bread, I only put about this much. Let's move that plastic out of the way. Yes, my bread is currently in a plastic bag. If you're wondering where to get those plastic bags, you can get them on Amazon. That's where I get mine. And you can reuse them several times before you do have to throw them out. So, just some butter on each one. Now, I'm using a pizza cooker to cook them today because, one, I have one, and it's fun to watch, and I'll let you watch it like we did when we did the pizza the other day. But also because it controls the heat really well, and you can watch for it to burn. It'll cook faster on the top than the bottom when you have both elements on. So it's easier for me to see when to flip it, and you don't risk burning your stuff. Here we go. Here's our last piece. See, you don't use all of your butter, so I can probably make another 3 or 4 sandwiches, which I will later off camera. But right now, that's our sandwich. So, just stick that out of the way because we don't need it anymore. So now you're going to start to assemble your sandwich. I'm going to make 3 different kinds. So let's just shuffle this a little bit. And I'm going to bring in, this is my pan for my pizza cooker. And yeah, cloth underneath because it has a spike on the bottom for setting it. So you just want to give it some stability, put a cloth under it. And we're actually going to build the sandwiches right on here. So the first one I'm going to make is going to be a pizza grilled cheese. So butter side down. Okay. Then we're going to need a little bit of tomato sauce. You can use any tomato sauce you like. This is just a slightly spiced tomato paste. You don't need too much. Just kind of coat your bread. You don't want it dripping in tomato sauce because it'll all end up squeezing out after. So there. You're going to want, I have 3 types of cheeses on the side here that you can't see. I have mozzarella, I have Monterey Jack, and I have Farmers. Now I've grated them just because I like to. You can slice them, but I like having my cheese grated. So I would grate our cheeses. So this is mozzarella here. Mozzarella cheese, Then we're going to do some pepperoni. So I have my pepperoni already sliced up smaller. So we're just going to do some pepperoni on here. You can do bacon. You don't have to make it a pizza grilled cheese. You can use anything you like, or you could just do cheese. Now, because we've put pepperoni on here, this won't stick to the other side of the sandwich. The pepperoni won't. So we just need another light coating of mozzarella cheese on top of that, just so everything melts together and sticks really nice. Okay, just a little bit, and then we're going to top it with the other slice of bread. Now this next one, we'll go over here. Again, butter side down. The next one is just going to be straight farmer's cheese. This is what my son really likes. So just straight farmer's cheese. Now, I don't like doing just cheese. Just cheese can be a little one-dimensional. So we're going to take some dill, and we're going to sprinkle a little bit of dill on the cheese. And then we're going to put a little bit more cheese, because if you don't have cheese in your grilled cheese, what's the point? So a little bit more cheese on top. Top it with its other slice of bread. So third sandwich, farmer's cheese again. Okay, so we do want some farmer's cheese. But this one's going to be slightly different, still some dill, or whatever herb you like. You could do basil, you do oregano. I'm doing dill, just because that's the mood I'm in. So a little bit of dill, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to get my Monterey Jack, which is also grated, because I love to use grated cheese. Again, go ahead and use sliced cheese if you like. I find the grated melts really well and nice and even. So there's my Monterey Jack. Top it. And then we are going to come on over here without dropping the camera. Ha ha ha. It's a bit of a hat trick. So we're going to come over here and I'm going to place this. You do want, if you're doing it like this on a cooker, you do want to make sure that your bread's not touching the elements, because you don't want to scorch your food. That would be bad. So we're just going to back this off just a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. And I'm going to plug this in. Sorry for jostling the camera. Just reposition. We're just going to let that go. It'll take a few minutes. I am going to time lapse this because we're not going to sit here for the next 6-7 minutes while this cooks. But we are going to set our timer. I like to set it for 12 minutes, even though it's not going to take that long. It just makes sure that I have enough time. And I may come and flip when these are browned, because they'll brown faster on the top than the bottom. So enjoy watching the grilled cheese cook. So obviously I've time-lapsed this portion of the video, mostly because we're not going to sit here for the 10 minutes it actually took, including after I flipped them. But you can see they get browner and browner, and the pizza cooker does an excellent job. You don't have to use a pizza cooker. I enjoy using one just because it's actually a lot simpler. You may not be able to cook as many as you might be able to on a griddle, but this requires very little effort. So you're going to watch as the sandwiches get browner on top. It's important to note that they're not as brown on the bottom, just due to the nature of the elements. The bottom is done with the pan, so it spreads the heat out a little bit more. You're going to watch as I flip them. See, the bottoms are not quite as cooked. So now we just flip them. It's another couple minutes after the flip. It's about 8 minutes on the front side, and it only takes 2 to 3 minutes on the back. And then they will be beautiful. And those look about done to me. So we're just going to get this pan off of that. You're going to, yes, thank you, pizza cooker. We're going to just move the camera again back to our original position, or close to it. I'm just going to grab these sandwiches. And we'll cut open at least one of them. So this one's the pizza one. We'll cut open that one, so you can see what they look like. You can cut them open in any direction. It doesn't really matter. Some people are squares, some people are triangles. It doesn't matter. So this is the pizza one. If you look, nice and gooey, full of pepperoni. There's sauce in there. It'll be absolutely delicious. The other ones will look similar, but they don't have pepperoni or sauce in them. So hopefully you enjoyed this little tutorial on making a grilled cheese sandwich. I know it's simple, but it's something someone asked for. Yes, you can do this on your skillet or in your frying pan. That is fine. I like doing it on my pizza cooker because I have the pizza cooker and it's easy to track how well done it is. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Come back next time for yet another tutorial. Bye now.